Okay. Eigentlich wollten wir Neuvillette's Auftrag machen, dann machen wir jetzt den seinen Scheiß halt. Bitteschön. Verdammter Hutträger. Du hättest Linnes Auftrag auch einfach schon vorher machen können. Also du fängst hier an, unmögliche Sachen zu erzählen. Bloß weil da jetzt Neuvillettes Auftrag im Weg steht, der Sack. Der soll sich seinen eigenen Otterkönig holen.
Hey, isn't that Charlotte?
Keine Ahnung, die Flügel waren im Weg.
I see. So you believe that this warning letter was sent by the Phantom Weasel?
Warte, was? Sie sagt Phantom Weasel und da unten steht die Zobel? Diese Übersetzungen, ne? Warum Dieb Zobel, Alter? Phantomwiesel oder so hört sich zwar auch scheiße an, aber Dieb Zobel? Ich wollte mich schon lange mal übers Ding aufregen. Über die Übersetzung. Weiter.
Absolutely, I've said it before and I'll say it again. The Phantom Weasel never acts as you expect. He must have faked his own death 10 years ago using a body double.
Vielleicht ist es auch einfach ein anderer Dieb. Ich meine, wenn er hier Dieb Zobel und da Episches Wiesel heißt oder
Now
so.
that he's
Ne,
back, I'm sure the guards who worked on his case back in the day are in for a headache, but however this turns out in the end, the one thing it won't be is boring.
Couldn't agree more. As a journalist, I'm gonna get a lot of mileage out of this one. Thank you, sir, for your time. Now, whom should I interview next? Huh? Hey! What a coincidence! Fancy meeting you here. Perfect timing. So, the Phantom Weasel's latest warning letter. What are your thoughts?
Dieb Zobel. Alter, der Name.
Yeah, this is the first time we're hearing of this one. Could you clue us in?
Ja, der heißt doch woanders. Deswegen habt ihr zuerst mal von ihm gehört.
Huh? Oh, sorry. Yes, this case is from a decade ago. I guess you wouldn't know about it.
Ja, vielleicht wenn man den richtigen Namen verwenden würde. Okay, ich höre auf.
Well, not to worry. You're in good hands because I'm a professional. The story goes like this. 10 or so years ago, a phantom thief became active in the court of Fontaine. Known only as the Weasel, nobody knew his true identity, and the authorities never managed to catch him.
Zobel?
Wow, cool! He sounds like one of those mysterious night burglars that you read about in novels.
Precisely. Well, except the part where they actually have a good reputation. Our Weasel targeted whatever people held dear, and no one was safe from his predations.
Okay, Zobel schaut auch so aus wie ein Wiesel. Oder wie so ein Marder oder sowas. Der echten Marder. Ja, aber dann hätte ich auch Wiesel nehmen können. Ach, egal. Wahrscheinlich. Das Problem ist mittlerweile, ich hab ja Athenites gespielt. Und da habe ich ja mit dem, der wo das Spiel übersetzt hat. Das ist ja ein koreanisches Spiel gewesen. Der hat das Spiel übersetzt und der hat sich hier auf dem Kanal mal gemeldet. Und mich so ein bisschen ausgefragt, wie ich das Spiel so finde und alles. Und mit dem habe ich ein bisschen hin und her geschrieben. Und dann hat er eben gesagt, dass er das mit übersetzt hat. Oder seine Firma und er dabei war. Und oft ist das Problem bei so Übersetzungen, dass es direkt aus dem Koreanischen nur zum Beispiel oder aus dem Japanischen halt übersetzt wird, während das Englische halt dann wieder andere Sachen macht. Und deswegen passt das Englische mit dem Deutschen dann oder so nicht zusammen. Also oft können die nicht mal was dafür, dass sich das scheiße anhört. Weil halt das einfach jeder irgendwie anders übersetzt.
He would just as soon steal a necklace from a rich merchant's safe as he would a toy doll given to a commoner child for their birthday.
Klingt wie ein absoluter Exzentriker.
I know. The phantom thieves you read about in novels rob the rich to pay the poor. But this guy did not discriminate. Unsurprisingly, this didn't work wonders for his public reputation. Every man and his dog wanted to see him behind bars.
Yeesh. So, did they catch him?
Not exactly. There's a good chance that the Weasel would still be at large to this day if it hadn't been for an accident 10 years ago. A magician named Caesar fell to his death in a botched high-altitude escape performance. When the police went through his personal effects, they found a hoard of stolen loot and gadgets used for criminal activities. And that was how the Phantom Weasel's identity was revealed to all. Sure enough, thefts in Fontaine went down after Caesar's death. But today, 10 years on, the notorious thief has once again issued one of his warning letters and pasted it on the gate of the Opera Epicles for all to see. I had to squeeze through the crowd this morning to get a photo as soon as I heard. Here, it's this one.
Warte, ich lese ihn euch vor. Bla 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 bla. Bla bla bla. Okay,
So,
hör auf.
this is the warning letter.
Wer kann das
huh?
lesen?
Let's see
Niemand.
what he wrote. 3 days from now, when evening falls, I shall take from you that which you hold most dear at the Opera House, just as you did to me 10 years ago.
This is, without a doubt, a clear declaration of criminal intent. After years of laying low, the Phantom Weasel is back with a vengeance.
Vielleicht der Sohn oder so?
What once seemed like an open and shut case has been blown wide open again. But why has he reemerged now? And what does he want? I sense an epic scoop. And I'm going for it.
Da ist mir nie auffallen, aber diese Schleife an dem Ding, das muss doch einem voll auf den Sack gehen. Jedes Mal, wenn du läufst, schlägst du gegen das Gesicht.
Uh-oh. If this thief will steal anything that other people value, does that mean even we might be targeted?
Er könnte all deine leckeren Knabbereien stehlen.
Really? Oh, let him try. In fact, Paimon's gonna eat all her snacks right now. Let's see what he can do about that.
Ach, deswegen lieben wir alle Paimon. Also die wohl wirklich mögen.
Okay, the people have spoken. It's clear that the public are very concerned about the Phantom Weasel's reappearance. Let's see, I've got a photo of the letter, my interview notes. Yep, that should be enough to form the skeleton of my article. It does feel like something is missing, though.
Ich sehe den elenden Mistkerl, der mir meinen Abend versaut hat. Gut, eigentlich nicht, der hat mir meine Überschrift versaut für den Stream, aber trotzdem. Verdammter Lin.
Something exclusive.
Und ich weiß, dass es meine Schuld ist, weil ich den Legendenauftrag mal wieder aktiviert habe.
Who should I interview next? I need someone with a more concrete connection to the Weasel. Is that who I think it is?
Ja, wie wär's mit dem Typen mit dem dämlichen Hut? Da oben.
Lenny!
Scheint führt er gerade einen Zaubertrick vor. Ja, der bescheißt die Leute gerade. Nein, Schmarrn.
Magician. Caesar! The Phantom Weasel! That's it! Let's go interview Lenny! You see, the original Phantom Thief Caesar was a magician too! And what do Phantom Thieves and magicians have in common? They both have an air of mystery about them. Perhaps there's a connection there.
Are you serious? What sort of a deduction is that?
Ja, vielleicht haben sie beide denselben dämlichen Hutmacher.
Oh, relax! My journalistic instinct tells me that an exclusive news story is beckoning. Let's go! No time for delay!
Ja, genau, wenn wir dabei sind, können wir ein paar mitgeben. Der vergessene Dieb, Phyllis Fuskus.
No way!
Ihr Kinder, habt ihr Lust, jemanden zu verprügeln? Kommt mit. Hier, waschen wir weg. So. Da einen Fan hat er, das hast du auch verdient. Einen einzigen, nicht mal einen hast du eigentlich verdient.
Wow,
Das würde so weitergehen, weil er mir auf den Sack
How did you
geht.
know which card I picked?
Ich finde ihn eigentlich gar nicht so schlimm. Jetzt gerade aber schon.
Oh, it's simple. Come closer and I'll let you in on my secret. Magicians have a special skill called telepathy, which means we can read other people's minds.
Really? Then, what am I thinking now?
Dämlicher Hut, hä? Denkt er jetzt.
Well, first you need to relax, because I can see that you're clenching your fist in your mind, as if to say, no, I mustn't let him guess it.
Aww.
And now you're getting a little flustered. You're trying to find a way to empty your mind, to think of nothing at all. But the more you try to hide a secret, the easier it'll come out. You snuck out from home today, didn't you? You told your family a little lie so you could come out and play. Now, that's not a good habit.
Bedroht ein Kind. Wir sollten ihn einsperren lassen, damit ich dann eine Neuvillette-Story machen kann.
You
Frischer
can tell?
Tatertab.
Oh boy.
You really can read my mind.
Okay, ich auf.
Of course. Oh, and that's the end of my performance. You should really be heading home. Remember to apologize to your family, all right? They must be worried about you.
All right, got it. Bye, Mr. Magician.
Siehst du, sogar meine stehen, mit meiner steht da und denkst du so, Alter, was für ein Penner. Den hätte ich übrigens auch gerne als 3D-Figur. Gibt's den nicht schon? Ich weiß es gar nicht. Kirara habe ich übrigens auch schon als Kiste, ne?
Why, hello. We meet again. Are you looking for me? What's the situation?
Well, why don't you guess, Mr. Telepathic?
Oh, please. You didn't believe that spiel, did you? The power of telepathy is quite beyond me.
I'm sure that child would beg to differ. Seemed like you were right on the money.
That was nothing more than a little trickery. I made an educated guess based on his micro-expressions. That, plus the fact that he was the only kid here without his parents, and he looked as guilty as sin. He made it easy for me. You guys, on the other hand, let me guess. Don't tell me you're here for the Phantom Weasel, are you?
Nein, wir sind wegen einem dämlichen Hut hier. Ja, okay. Unser Wert, unser Blick.
Is this more of your trickery at work?
Wahrscheinlich hat er uns belauscht, der Sack.
Really? No trickery this time. It was pure luck. His warning letter's been the talk of the town, so I figured that maybe you were asking around about that.
Bingo! I plan on writing a column reporting on the latest news about the Phantom Weasel. So, Linny, what are your thoughts on this infamous thief's reappearance?
To be honest, it makes me angry.
Oh nein, nicht, dass er gleich das Heulen anfängt. Hallo?
Angry?
Ah, jetzt.
Why?
You read his letter, right? The Phantom Weasel claims he's planning something in 3 nights' time at the Opera House. That's the night I'll be performing there.
Die lassen dich da nochmal was auftreten? Wer weiß, wen du jetzt umbringst.
What are the chances? Wait a minute, you don't think he's after you, do you?
Well, if he is, then his warning is clearly a direct challenge to me personally. And if he's not, then it's still going to be a huge headache for me. The mere mention of the Weasel's name is enough to scare people off. So once the contents of that letter get out, barely anyone will be showing up to watch my show. But I've been preparing for this for a long time. I'm not about to let him ruin my big day. This leaves me with only one choice. I have to expose the Phantom Weasel's identity before the show begins.
Really? So what you're saying is, we might get to see a live duel between a famous magician and an infamous thief? Wow, this has exclusive written all over it.
To be honest, I'm not sure if I'll emerge the victor. The Phantom Weasel is a notorious crook, infamous for his inscrutable methods.
You're being far too modest, Linny. I think your magic tricks are even more inscrutable than those of a thief.
Thanks for the compliment, though I have to say, I don't care much for the comparison. A lot of people liken magicians to thieves because we both have the ability to make things disappear without the person noticing. But there's an important difference that these people overlook. Allow me to demonstrate with a quick magic trick. Here, I have a flower, just an ordinary flower that was picked not long ago. Watch it carefully now. 3, 2, 1.
Die Kamera hat sie, die Kamera war schuld.
It's gone!
Wo ist die Blume?
That's the question. Where did it go?
Darf ich ihn boxen?
Therein lies the difference between us. Thieves make precious things disappear, but only magicians make them reappear.
Ja, aber Diebe lassen es doch auch wieder erscheinen. Bei ihnen in der Geldbörse.
If I could now invite you all to check your clothes, there might be a surprise in there somewhere.
A surprise? Let me see!
Ja, scheiße, als ob das dem nicht auffällt, wenn irgendjemand ihn die scheiß Blume ansteckt. Guten Abend, Klaus.
It's right there! But how? You haven't moved this whole time!
What an outstanding trick! Sorry, Lenny, it seems that my previous praise was woefully inadequate. Clearly, magic is the superior art form to theft.
Don't worry, I didn't take offense. I just wanted to take the opportunity to perhaps change some of the preconceived notions you might have about magicians. Since Caesar's death, a lot of people associate magicians with criminality. It can be quite frustrating.
Das ist 10 Jahre her, oder? Wo der gestorben ist. Wen interessiert das noch heute?
I can imagine. Coming back to your trick just now, might I presume that you are well versed in floral symbolism?
Die Blumensprache?
For
Ach so.
example, magicians often use rainbow roses in their flower-related performances to represent passion and romantic encounters. But you used a Lumidu spell, which, if I'm not mistaken, allude to separations. I'm curious to know if there was any deeper meaning behind this choice.
Eine Glockenblume, die Trennung symbolisiert. Ja, ich würde mich gern von ihm trennen, aber er kommt ja immer wieder. Er ist wie so ein scheiß Bumerang.
Impressive knowledge. It's no wonder you're such a successful journalist. But I'm afraid I don't know the first thing about floral symbolism. I'm just in the habit of using Lumidu spells in my magic. It sounds like something I should look into, though. I'll buy myself a copy of Fontaine's Floral Language Facts when I have some time. But it'll have to wait until this phantom weasel business is behind us.
Well noted. In that case, this brings us to the end of our interview. I, for one, am looking forward to the final showdown between you and the thief. Please feel free to get in touch to update me on any further developments. Otherwise, I will of course see you at your show in 3 days' time. But let's hope the Phantom Weasel is caught by then. If there's nothing else, I'll be off. You've given me lots to work with here, and I've got no time to lose if I want to write that exclusive piece. I'll see you all later.
Also sehr gut, ihr fangt den Dieb und ich mache was anderes in der Zeit.
So, Lenny, are you gonna tell us how you did that flower trick now?
I'm afraid that's my little secret.
Aww. Well, magicians are entitled to their secrets. But Paimon's really itching to know how it's done. You feel it too, right? So itchy.
Der Dieb Zobel. Alter, der Name.
Not so itchy then, huh? Well, since you're so concerned, how would you like to serve as my temporary magician's assistants and help me investigate?
Muss das sein.
Magician's assistants? Oh, that sounds fun! Assistants are technically magicians too! Also, it'll bring us one step closer to figuring out how that darn trick is done! Shall we go for it?
Hast du schon einen Plan,
The
Lenny?
first thing we need to look into is who Caesar really was. If he truly was the Phantom Weasel, that means that the weasel is dead, and whoever wrote this warning letter is just a copycat criminal. But if he wasn't the weasel? Well, that'll make things more interesting. It would mean that the weasel lives, and he's been laying low all this time in some corner of Fontaine. And if we're investigating Caesar, his fiancée Gemma is a good place to start. Word is that she visits the cemetery often, so I asked Lynette to wait for her there.
Oh, was für ein
We
verschlagener
should make a
Sack.
move. Let's go and rendezvous with Lynette.
Wie halt jemanden auf jemand.
Since we
Auf.
last saw Neuvillette, Paimon wonders what he's been up to.
Kann ich das jetzt machen? Was? Scheiß auf Linde, geht jetzt der Auftrag? Hä? Nee, warte mal, was ist das? Doch das da. Ja! Wir müssen seinen Scheiß nicht mehr machen.
I see the value in my
Da muss ich die
own-
Beschreibung wieder ändern. Okay, dann machen wir jetzt mit Neuvillette's Auftrag weiter.
But I also
Und falls der Fall wirklich auftreten sollte, dass ich jetzt dann wieder hin und her switchen muss, dann machen wir bloß noch Linees.
settle down.
Oh, falscher Knopf. Palast Mermonier. Ja, das Ding war der Kaiser, ich hab vergessen. Lange nicht gesehen. Ja, letzte Woche war Pause. Aber schön, dass dir gut geklaut. So, mit dem Otterkönig treffen wir jetzt den Otterkönig.
Wait, did I hear that right? Monsieur Neuvillette, are you sure you'd like to take over the case yourself?
That's right.
No, but why? Technically speaking, cases like this are better left to the guards.
Neuvillette! Sidine! Hey there! What are you two talking about?
Traveler in Paimon, please help me talk our Chief Justice out of this. He wants to investigate a case on his own. Now, this is completely unprecedented. How can we have the Udex acting like a private detective?
Alter, er wischt sie einfach alle weg und dann passt es. Siehst du in beruflichen Neuorientierungen betrachten? Ich kann ja ein paar hervorragende Detektive vorstellen.
Thank you for your concern, but I currently have no such plans. Oh, apologies. I took your question in earnest, but it now occurs to me that it was most likely in jest.
So, what is it exactly? It sure sounds serious if it's something you've got to investigate personally.
A Melusine named Kiara received a threat letter.
Wer bedroht denn eine Melusine?
And then?
That is all the information I have acquired at this stage.
Den Penner werden wir erwischen.
I have no idea why you're so hung up over this. I've checked the schedule in advance, and it seems like there aren't any trials today. So, if you insist, I have no objections.
Thank you for understanding. I will leave a note explaining my absence on my desk. I would appreciate it if you could take it to Lady Farina. She may have no interest in official affairs, but standard procedure dictates that I'm still responsible for reporting to her.
Yes, understood. I'll come back later and deliver the note to her.
Judging from Sidine's reaction, it must be pretty rare for you to investigate stuff personally. What's so special about this case?
I cannot tell you just yet, but it reminded me of certain past events. There could be complicated conflicts of interest behind all this, so I must eliminate all risks in advance.
Interessenkonflikte? Kannst du uns mehr darüber erzählen? Also ich würde als erstes Linne einsperren, der hat uns gerade schon die Zeit geklaut. Interessenkonflikte?
Stop being so secretive! We still have no idea what's going on!
It is not my intention to keep you in the dark, but I need some time to revisit those memories and collect my thoughts. Long story short, a little more than 400 years ago, I became the Udex of Fontaine and initiated a series of institutional reforms. There were few people I could trust, but I had two subordinates who were exceptionally trustworthy and capable. Carol, a Melusine, and Vautrin, leader of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol.
They must have been amazing people to receive such high praise from you!
Indeed. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to protect them. The reforms damaged the interests of some, and the more conservative faction took advantage of Carol's identity to instigate political unrest. Ultimately, they wanted me to yield more of my power. The incident resulted in Carol taking her own life, and Vautrin being exiled. From then on, I've been especially careful when dealing with cases related to Melusines.
Boah. Scheiß Politiker-Arschlöcher. Vor allem mit Spielen. Sag, dass du das eigentliche Ziel bist. Wissen, wie er Melusine gegen dich einsetzen kann.
All Melusines used to live a secluded life away from human society. I granted their wishes when some of them, including Carol, asked me to bring them to the court of Fontaine. Many common folk believe that I share a special bond with the Melusines, and whatever they do can be traced back to me. Some of them, especially those who hold a grudge against me, exploit that belief and stir up conflict over Melusines in an attempt to lay the blame on me. I have nothing against the opinions of others, but the moment a whirlpool of conspiracy forms, it inevitably affects the innocent. It has already happened once, and I want to make sure it does not happen again.
Even so, why do you have to be the one investigating? There's the guards, the Maréchaussée Phantom, and the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol. Aren't they more than enough to figure out what's going on?
Based on prior experience, there is a high chance that those who hold hostility towards me do not belong to the same department. The political system of Fontaine is relatively complex and involves the interests of multiple different factions. However, since I am technically an outsider in Fontaine, a lot of trouble could be avoided if I personally took on the case.
Outsider? But aren't you the Chief Justice of Fontaine? Why would you be an outsider?
I understand where you are coming from, but there is not necessarily a connection between my responsibilities and how I perceive myself. You know very well about my true identity, and have even met others of my kind in other nations.
Also einen halt. Ja, du bist der Hydra.
Even though I was born with a human form, there is a fundamental difference between dragons and humans.
Die Größe und die Lebensspanne.
Taking on the role of Chief Justice does not make me a part of this community. In fact, the status I was granted has prevented me from forming deeper bonds with others.
Oh ja, weil ja du sonst so ein emotionales Bündel bist.
I have lived in Fontaine for a long time, but I do not belong here. That is why I call myself an outsider. A fish out of water.
Dann sind wir in Fontaine auch Außenseiter.
Yeah, we have nothing to do with all those organizations anyway. So how about we come with you on your investigation? Let's team up and round up all the bad guys lurking in the dark.
Dark.
That does not sound like a bad idea. I rarely investigate cases on my own, but with professionals like you around, I'm sure it will go a lot smoother.
Oh, Paimon's starting to get a little embarrassed. Just leave it to us.
I will write my note of absence right away. Let us depart together once I'm done.
Neuvillette schreibt die Notizen an Furine und legt sie auf den Schreibtisch. Die liest
Let us
wahrscheinlich
go.
nicht mal.
We should visit Kiara first and try to gain a better understanding of the situation.
Niemand bedroht die Melusine, Alter, und kommt ungestraft davon.
So Neuvillette feels like he doesn't truly belong here in Fontaine, but is that really true? Paimon feels like he has a kinda skewed perspective on a lot of things. Anyway, let's catch up with him first.
Die Melusine sind knuffig. Ihr könnt meinetwegen jeden Aranara auf der Welt bedrohen, aber nicht die Melusine. Ihr könnt die mal Aranara bei mir auch zu Salat verarbeiten. Nein, hör auf zu reden, wenn ich ins Menü gehe. Oh, ich hasse das Spiel dafür.
But since you're the Hydro Dragon, would a dragon out of water suit you better?
Thank you for your suggestion. I will consider using the more accurate term in private occasions. Please allow me to rephrase. Has a dragon out of water?
Ugh, that sounds kind of weird. Let's stick with the previous version instead.
Alter, Paimon, hör auf, mir solche Sachen in den Kopf zu setzen. Der checkt doch das meistens nicht. Ich bin mal gespannt auf jeden Fall, was auch in der Story in der nächsten dann rauskommt mit ihm. Weil das war schon sehr mysteriös. Ist das noch in der Stadt oder ist es außerhalb? Ne, ist noch in der Stadt. Hä, waren da zwei? Gibt es überhaupt Regeln zum Altern in TV? Nochmal, glaube ich, würfeln das Alter Charakter. Ja, das ist sowieso. Also das Alter kannst du hier sowieso
I
vergessen.
never thought I'd see him here.
Does anyone have a camera?
Jetzt kommt's mir erst, das passt doch sogar. Weil ich halt eine Neuvillette hab. Jetzt schaut sie halt mich an. Bricht dir vorher das Genick, Schätzchen. Wir sind doch auf dem Finger auf ihm zeigen.
The weather's amazing today.
Also Kirara sein, der Drohbrief ziemlich im Arsch, weil
Kiara,
war das die, wo er gekriegt hat?
Monsieur Neuvillette! And you are? Oh, I remember. You're the Traveler and Paimon. I've heard about you.
Aw, she's adorable. Hey there, it's nice to meet you.
Thanks for the compliment. Is there anything I can do for you?
I heard from Sidine that you received a threatening letter.
A threatening letter? Oh, right. I remember now. The letter fell through the crack in my door as I was heading out this morning. It said something about catching me, so I thought someone wanted to play hide and seek. But Sidine told me it was a threatening letter, and that I could be in danger. But that's not gonna happen with everyone looking after me, right?
Have you run into any suspicious-looking people recently?
Suspicious-looking people? What counts as suspicious?
Jemand, der dich verfolgt?
Did you think of something?
Nee.
Nope. I don't remember meeting anyone like that.
Do you still have the letter with you? I want you to show me what it says.
Oh, let's see. Found it.
Benutzen die eigentlich immer dieselben Buchstaben, obwohl andere Sachen dastehen? Schon, ne? Das ist jetzt 1, 2, das ist immer zweimal dasselbe, zweimal dasselbe. Mich würde interessieren, ob die intern wirklich irgendwas dafür haben, um solche Sachen zu übersetzen, oder ob die das einfach nur 0815 einfach hinkritzeln.
Now then, get lost. If you don't leave the Maréchaussée Phantom, I will come and catch you in person. Don't say I didn't warn you. A simple threat. Neither the handwriting nor the content itself reveals anything about the writer's intentions.
Verfolgt diese Person absichtlich ihre Identität?
We can't rule out that possibility.
War das die Ding schon wieder eigentlich, die Charlotte, oder ist das ein anderes?
Since you can't think of anyone suspicious, I will be heading back to the Palais Mermonia to review some official documents. Kiara, you should come with us. It's safer if you stay close by.
Sure. Wait, no. I still have a case to work on. I promised Alof that I'd check on her place later.
But you are being watched right now. Going off on your own could be dangerous.
And that's where we come in to help. We'll stay with Kiara and make sure she's safe. With us around, anyone scheming to hurt Kiara can forget about it.
Forget about it.
Thank you, Traveler. Big Sis Paimon.
Große Schwester Paimon.
Don't worry, your big sis Paimon is super strong.
War klar, dass Paimon da voll drauf einsteigt.
All right, let us go our separate ways for now. Please take care of Kiara.
We'll take her to a lost place right away. See you.
Oh.
So, Kiara, how old are you?
Let me think. 1, 2, 10? I can't remember. But I remember coming to the Court of Fontaine with Carol and Neuvillette. That must have been a long time ago.
Carol? Didn't Neuvillette mention her just now? That was more than 400
Stimmt.
years ago. Why would Paimon be a big sister to you?
My memory isn't that good. But Carol
Oops.
told me I could address others based on how I
Entschuldigung.
feel about them.
Wie war denn das
Paimon feels
nochmal?
a lot more grown up than me.
Oh, das ist jetzt blöd gelaufen. Ups.
Hey, Traveler, did you hear that?
Ja, tut mir leid, das war ich. Sieht man irgendwen zufällig? Ich habe versucht langsam zu gehen, aber ich habe den Knopf nicht gefunden. Ich habe doch gewusst, dass es ist.
Strange. Paimon felt like someone was following us.
Olaf!
Kiara, you're here. Huh? Wait, aren't these two...
Oh, they're the Traveler and Big Sis Paimon.
I thought so. What brings you here?
Wir beschützen Chiara.
Did you run into any trouble?
It's not really trouble anymore with us around.
May I begin inspecting the store as planned?
Of course. Go ahead.
Hä?
No hazards detected. You've cleared the inspection. Seems like the criminal from that case last month never set foot in here at all.
That was quick. What were you inspecting?
I took a look around the shop. Neuvillette says that us Melazines have special eyes that can see things people can't. things like bloodstains. No matter how hard you try to clean them up, we Melazines can see the residual stains for some time. Pretty cool, huh?
Oh.
All right. Now that you're done inspecting, can we have a chat? Hear me out. I'm planning to release an outfit for children next month and wanted to hire you as my model. Is that okay with you?
Of course! Is there anything I need to do?
Please wait a moment while I take your measurements. The sample should be a perfect fit.
Seems like they get along really well. Huh? What are you looking at?
Da drüben scheint jemand zu sein.
Is there really someone watching us? Shh! Let's sneak over and take a look.
Schreit einfach Schale, dann kommt's heraus. Spülen wir sie erstmal weg. Nein, ich schmarre.
Strange. Why isn't he back yet?
Gotcha! Charlotte, what are you doing here? Oh, wait, don't tell Paimon you're the one who sent Kiara that threatening letter. But you don't seem like the type to...
Threat letter? What threat
Oh,
letter?
Paimon. Was machst du überhaupt?
This is starting to feel like an interrogation. Okay, I'll be straight with you. I don't know the slightest thing about that threat letter you mentioned. I only wanted to follow Monsieur Neuvillette and request an interview with him.
You want to interview him?
That's right. I'm not the only one, you know. Interviewing him is every journalist's dream. But it's not an easy task to accomplish. The Palais Mermonia rarely accepts appointment requests from us, and we never have the chance to interrupt when the court's in session. So imagine how surprised I was seeing him out on the streets today. It seemed like you were investigating something too. The perfect opportunity to whip up an exclusive, don't you think? Of course, I'll make sure to turn in my manuscript to him for review. I have my principles, and I'd never publish an article without the consent of all parties involved.
Es wäre besser, es vorher geheim zu halten.
Yeah, we're doing a secret investigation that can't be made public knowledge.
I see. Well, if you say so, I guess I'll put this matter aside for now. What a shame. Chances like this don't come by very often, you know. In exchange, could you tell me what the threat letter is about? I swear I won't tell.
All right, then.
Ja, erzähl Charlotte von den Drohbrief.
What? Someone's targeting a cute little Melazine?
Ja, siehst du, genau sage ich auch. Geht wenigstens zu den Aranara, also die mag keiner.
Shh, not so loud.
It just so happens that I did an interview with Kiara. Last month, in fact. It was well received by our readers, so I was planning to continue the series. And now someone's coming after her? I'll ask my colleagues about it. Who knows? We might find something. And don't worry, I know what I'm doing. This secret's safe with me. But I gotta warn you, even if I keep my lips sealed, others will know eventually.
Why?
People care a great deal about Monsieur Neuvillette's each and every move. Some may have already realized that something was up. Besides, the case involves Melazines. So anyway, I'll get going now. Watch yourselves, all right?
Well, that was a nice chat. Let's head back and check on Kiara.
Wo kommt das Ding her? Kommt jetzt jeder Charakter aus Fontaine hier vor in der Story?
What do you think? The design looks pretty good, huh?
I think it's great!
Huh. It's very pretty indeed.
Haran! What are you doing here?
Ja, schau, dass du ins Gebet kommst, wo man dich ziehen kann.
It seems that you just showed up out of nowhere.
As I passed by the Palais Mermonia, I heard that Neuvillette was investigating a case with you. Technically speaking, he and I are under an employer-employee relationship. It didn't feel right to have my employer personally take on such trivial cases. I happened to have some time at the moment, and came to take a look. I sometimes have my clothes custom-made at this boutique, in any case, so we always have a lot to talk about.
Ah, Neuvillette sure is lucky to have someone like you.
Leave this to me. You should go meet up with Neuvillette.
Okay then, we'll leave Kiara in your hands. Come on, let's go find Neuvillette.
Ich muss jetzt zugeben, ich würde Kirara gern fangen. Dann könnten wir sie in die Kanne stellen. Ich meine, sie wird dann nicht mehr rauskommen, aber es passt schon. Sie wäre da sicher. Aber hey, wer hört schon auf mich? Hey!
Oh, you're back. Is everything all right?
We ran into Cloran. She offered to help us protect Kiara.
That is good to hear. I trust her abilities. It looks like Kiara is in good hands.
We thought so too. Well, did you find any leads?
I've been looking over the case records, specifically inspection reports submitted by Kiara and major cases I have judged over the past decade. I have come up with two plans. On one hand, I could start with Kiara and track down the group behind all this step by step. On the other, I could also analyze the conflicting interests of these major cases and confirm my suspicions if there is indeed a mysterious group that bears a grudge against me.
They both sound like pretty solid plans, but can you really finish browsing through all these documents?
Don't worry. I'm a fast reader when it comes to official documents. After all, I have several hundred years of reviewing under my belt.
We'll help you read through them. We have nothing else to do.
Thank you. I will continue looking through the ones piled up on the desk, but feel free to browse through anything else in this room.
Nee, danke, passt schon. Ich brauche jetzt keine offiziellen Dokumente. Über den Schmugglerfall, über die Bestechung, über den Antrag des... Spina de Rosula? Hä? Mehr hat nicht geglitzert? Was ist das da alles? Und hier? Über den Schmuggelfall. Scheiße, wie hat man den nochmal? Risley. Risley war das, ne? Risley hat sich zu all dem Verbrechen bekannt und wurde von einer Neuvillette für schuldig befunden. Nach Fort Meropide verbannt. Während der Verhandlungen schwieg Herr Neuvillette über einen längeren Zeitraum. Oh, mir ist es gar nicht über die Bestechung. Es gibt einen schweren Bestechungskanal innerhalb der Gendarmerie. Sonderpatrouillen für Sicherheit und Überwachung hat den Fall untersucht, alle beteiligten Verdächtigen wurden festgenommen. Haben ihre Verbrechen gestanden. Ich glaube, das ist das erste Land, das seine Sachen selber aufklärt, ne? Ich meine, die anderen haben ja nur uns. Über den Antrag des repräsentativen Gremiums. Er hat den Antrag auf Zusammenarbeit mit dem Meroche Phantom bei bestimmten gesellschaftlichen Aktionen gestellt. Untersuchungen sind sie der Meinung, dass Melusine die Popularität der Verhandlungen steigern kann. Phantom hat sich noch nicht dazu geäußert, aber sie hat den Melusinen auch nicht verboten, an solche Aktionen teilzunehmen.